Sono lieto di presentarvi i prestigiosi ospiti. Abbiamo Patrizia Diana, Senior Sales di Ideas. Poi abbiamo anche David McLeod, che è Vice President of Sales di BeonX. So we have, abbiamo qua due importanti esponenti di due RMS, quindi di due software di revenue management system tra i più prestigiosi nel mondo sicuramente. Aspettavamo anche Anna Luffman di Duetto, che però purtroppo evidentemente non è riuscita ad arrivare in tempo per questo panel molto mattiniero. Cercheremo di fare un panel un po' diverso dal solito, quindi faremo stile domande, intervista doppia con domande veloci sul tema ovviamente dell'intelligenza artificiale applicata al revenue management, applicata ai loro software in particolare, e di come l'intelligenza artificiale influenzerà o già sta cominciando a influenzare i flussi turistici della domanda attraverso ovviamente tutti i canali di ricerca su internet. Quindi incomincerei, so I switch on in English. Se avete bisogno della traduzione simultanea lo potete fare tramite l'app MyBTO. Mi avevano detto che sarebbe dovuto apparire anche un QR code, in ogni caso non so se mi confermano dalla regia che questo avverrà. Un attimo solo. Comunque dall'area di MyBTO potete entrare nella vostra area, selezionare il panel e dovreste avere un bottone live, lì potete seguire la diretta in streaming, scegliere la lingua, non occorre ovviamente che la guardate, ma semplicemente ascoltandola con i vostri auricolari se ve li siete portati dietro. Quindi, senza indugio, incomincio con questa intervista. So, please try to be quickly in your answer and try to be sincere, not always. You can also lie, but by the way, lie with intelligence. So, first question. We decided we start always with Patrizia, if it's fine for you. Okay. First question: can artificial intelligence really predict tourist preference?
Yes. Is that quick enough? I think so, yeah, absolutely. Artificial intelligence is gathering data, right? And it's understanding the trends, it's understanding the patterns, and it's making predictions. So for me, it's absolutely, it makes a lot of sense that artificial intelligence is able to predict and to kind of understand preferences from tourists.
And exactly that. No, I totally agree. You know, when you kind of take a step back and think, you know, what is artificial intelligence? It's exactly that. You know, it's mimicking humans. It is digesting the data, you know, looking for correlations and patterns. So if the data suggests that, then the AI will be able to pick that up. You know, you'd expect way quicker than a human being would be able to.
In your opinion, do users trust a review written by AI or a person more?
This is a tricky one. I was thinking about that. And I thought about myself going into Amazon, for example. When I'm buying a book, I always read the reviews, right? And Amazon has now a new feature which makes a summary of the reviews. And it tells you, well, the users say that this book is blah, 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 blah. So for me, it's a nice summary, but if to have a general understanding. But if I want more detail, I go into each of the reviews of the humans. So I think it's more a combination of maybe an AI doing a summary of the reviews, and then if you want more detail, going into a person. I don't think an AI could replace fully a person's review.
combination. We will count how many times we will say combination and balance, okay? This is the first one. Sorry, David.
No, you're good. I completely agree. But if you look at it the other way from like the hotelier's point of view, you know, there's the review that the consumer sees, but the flip side is the response that the hotelier can give. And I think the response is the important part for the hotelier, because that's where you can really save time and create automation. You know, previously, a response to a review may have been a template, very basic, generic, it's the same. The power of AI is providing a more bespoke response to the review, which can help the hoteliers, I think, is quite important.
Well, just yes or not. Do you think AI can help hoteliers improve their offerings?
Do you want to start? Maybe.
Yes, yes. Yes or no? Or
yes, no, maybe, even maybe. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, and just a simple response to that is if you were to type into AI or chat GPT, you know, each month in the year, what is a tourist looking for in Florence, it's going to give you a different response for each month. Some might be due to weather, some might be due to events, but simple things like this can help you really see different times of year why you might attract a different guest, if that answered the question.
I think definitely, right? I think one of the main applications of AI in hospitality is actually enhancing the guest experience and the offerings, right? And make it more personalized to what you as a tourist want. So definitely AI in this case is booming, right? And has a lot of potential to adapt to what every traveler wants. So for me, it's a definite yes.
Okay. The following question was how, but at the end, this is for that I asked only yes or not. But by the way, next one. Is artificial intelligence better at optimizing prices or recommending local activities?
Two different questions, right? So about recommending prices, yes, in capital letters. Why?
That's why we're here.
Yes, this is why we are here. This is why we have a job, actually. So, yeah, again, artificial intelligence in revenue management and in pricing recommendations, or dynamic pricing is another field where it's booming, right? And it's kind of the basis of the RMSs today. So, pricing recommendations based on artificial intelligence, it's a present. It's not the future. It's a present. About offerings, was it offerings?
They're recommending local activities.
Local activities.
Yeah. I mentioned this question because to see the both sides of artificial intelligence, from the side of the offering and the side of the demand. So what we are trying here to understand is that artificial intelligence is influencing the demanding, because there are some funnels of the request that artificial intelligence should lead, and even to understand that and how to work. So this question is to be at both sides.
And yeah, I'll start on, I guess, the pricing piece. This is kind of where we see the most, especially, I guess, for both of us here, like where we see the most benefit is because, you know, the amount of, we've kind of got to a stage where there was so much data being created that everyone's a bit like, what do I do with it? So, you know, there's very powerful products that can ingest all that data, calculate all that data, not just for the short term, but, you know, for the full year ahead, for multiple segments and so on, where it's got to a stage where it's kind of impossible for, you know, the average person to be able to manage a lot of that. So on the pricing 100% and activities, it's kind of the same concept. Yeah, I would say absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So in a balanced year as well.
Balanced again, yeah.
Okay. Well, do users choose a destination because they are influenced by algorithms?
Hi. I don't know. I really don't know.
You? No, I don't.
I think this is more related to advertisement, right? To how the advertisement industry, through all these cookies, how does someone research a destination through internet, right? And so I'm sure AI is applicable to advertisements as well as it is to hospitality. So I'm sure they have some degree of influence, but I'm not that sure, to be honest. So that's a maybe for me.
I think what I would relate it to is, and outside of hospitality, is when you look at Netflix, it pops up items or programs that it might expect you to want to watch, given your previous history and programs you've watched. And I have a feeling the OTAs are probably doing a pretty similar task of bringing to the forefront maybe certain stays or type of trips that you've been searching for in the past. Maybe if you go to a lot of golf destinations, are they likely to bring golf, locations to the forefront versus rather looking at it at a hotel level? I think it might be more of a destination thing.
Well, from your answer, you linked me to a new question that I've not written, so this is unprepared. And which is the link between the preparing of the offer and the pricing of the offers and advertising with your tools, for example? The link from the preparing the offer, the pricing, and to send to the advertising, because there is an offer that you have to prepare. You have the algorithm that make the price, but that should be sent to a special buyer personas, to a special target. Is there something of that or not yet?
I think personally, from the ideas point of view, when we do a pricing recommendation, or when the system takes a pricing decision, we send it to the channel managers, which send that pricing decision to the OTAs and to kind of the whole distribution landscape. But then we don't have the visibility of how that price is kind of linked to an advertisement, if that's the case. So today, there is no link between the super final user and the advert and the RMS. What we get from the market is like all the statistics and the sensitivity, the elasticity, the competitors' pricing, all of that is influencing the pricing back. So it's kind of a circle, but we don't have a direct link to the kind of the end user.
Yeah, and I think the only kind of link I can kind of put together here would be, forecasting by the segmentation, right? Like that segment of guest that you can forecast or you'd anticipate come into your hotel can allow you to get quite granular with your pricing. So understanding that guest that's arriving or expected to arrive can let you get a lot more granular. But I totally agree with, once kind of all the rates are at the OTA, there's another layer of promotion that can't really be impacted there. Yes,
go back into the rails, even if I have other question about that, because I think it's a very important topic, the segmentation, and to understand that maybe the segmentation can change, it will change the marketing segmentation. We should not take only the data from our PMS, but even from what's going on the webs. So which kind of people, which kind of personas, and this I think it should be a good challenge for a system like yours. But I think this should be the future. I'm sorry, this was not prepared. But
yeah, you're mentioning the website, and it's great, but how? It's a part of the whole business, right? So if we could get the data from a booking.com, for example, about buyer persona, who is kind of looking at your hotel, what profile does this person or these segments have? If we would be able to get that information, that for sure there should be a link. But today there is no, I don't know if Booking.com is providing the hotels all this information, because it's key to make their marketing strategies and their positioning. The hotels get the information from the website or even from the direct bookings, right? But that's it. There is a whole universe of buyer personas where the hotel doesn't get the information from. At the stage of research or searching, when they are at the hotel, they can ask all types of questions, but what if they don't arrive to the hotel? That's the thing.
Yeah, it could be a way for disintermediation, to disintermediate, and yeah, it's obviously only for direct clients. But go back on the rail, sorry, for this question. I don't know if you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit to that, because there's quite an important part of, and I don't want to go into, of course, too much about our product, but there's a really powerful piece or a pillar of what goes into an algorithm, and a part of that is called a hotel quality index. And what we do with that is we look at if you look at your competitors, the comp set around you, you can understand the pricing of the hotels around you, but it doesn't really give you the full picture, because what you're missing out on is the value or the perceived value of those guests. So kind of looking at a combination of the pricing, the reputation score, the amenities and services offered at the hotel, and then relaying it with the type of guests or the segmentation that hotel gets, you can start to understand, well, actually that hotel may have a spa, but is that spa important on a Tuesday to a business traveler? Does it add any additional value? And the answer is probably not. So you can start to look at your value offering versus your competition, dependent on the type of guests that you're receiving. So it can be a really interesting way of your value perception versus the competition, rather than just looking at the prices. Something that everyone's probably doing in their head already, but it's really, really valuable when you're looking at the price for some of the certain rooms.
Good. Well, go back into the destination and how to the AI can lead the funnel of the demand. In your opinion, which should be is the channel more influencer with AI? I don't know, social network, one in particular, it's still Google, ChatGPT. So, should I repeat your question? Or which channels is more influencer into the decision of the client?
I think we need to think on how does a traveler looks for the information, right? And I don't have statistics, but I am assuming that until ChatGPT came into the picture, Google was kind of the place to go, right? So now with ChatGPT, how many people is using ChatGPT to find a destination? 20%, 30%, maybe 40%. So I think it's probably half today. But
between Google and ChatGPT.
Yeah, really interesting. Yeah, I'd probably say along those lines. It's also interesting because when you kind of think before OTAs were around, as an example, like...
But OTA is another channel that could be, I mean...
Right, but hoteliers kind of lost... I feel like hoteliers lost a little bit of their power maybe when OTAs kind of rose to fame, and maybe hoteliers weren't ready to... I don't know if battle's the right word, but, partner with OTAs in the right relationship. And I feel like with AI now, it's maybe a little bit of that happening again. Like the quicker you can kind of embrace it and, optimize for it, you can, really put up a bit of a battle or maximize it the best way you can, versus maybe when the OTAs came around, I think everyone was a little bit too late to the game in a way. And, there was a bit of a challenge that maybe we've lost a lot of our bookings to OTAs versus them being direct originally. I kind of feel we're a bit of a similar scenario now with the AI as it kind of comes into play.
Clear. Is it more important to have a well-made online strategy or to rely on AI technology for promotion. So it's better to have online strategy or well-made online strategies, or use AI technology for promotion?
I think it's not one or the other. I think combination. A combination.
This is the fourth. I count it.
I think the strategy comes from the human, right? I mean, probably AI will set the strategy in the future or in the near future, but today I think the strategy comes from the human, and the execution can come from AI. So.
I totally agree. I think AI is the automation, it's the repetitive tasks, but it really needs that human to drive the strategy there.
I believe that you already answered me to the next question. Can artificial intelligence completely replace the human touch in hospitality management?
I would ask the audience who likes to be checked in by a robot. Probably not that many people, right? Maybe if you're in a hurry, like you like to be checked in by a robot?
Just to be opposite.
So for me, the answer is definitely not. The AI will never replace the human touch, and this is why we are in this business, because it's hospitality, and that is human. So, for sure.
There are outside a stand with a robot. I hope that there are not any represent of them here. David?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. I totally agree. I think some of the stuff that we've seen, which is kind of helping hoteliers, but not removing the human touch, is little things like the chat bots, you know, when you go on the website, or the in-room messaging and stuff like that, where definitely the AI can assist with it, but I think it still needs the guest still needs the ability to have that human touch, and that's kind of what the hotels can probably focus a lot more of their time on, I think, right?
That's fine. A good answer. Polite. Another question. Can AI predict what the next emerging destination will be?
I think so. Yeah, by looking at data. By looking at data. And it's not only searching data, it's also economics, it's also all type of information that AI can easily gather. Different variables. I'm sure AI can predict what the next emerging destination will be, for sure.
Exactly that. I'd say, yeah, you know, if you look at the millions and millions of different data points out there, if you were to remove AI and you've got a person sifting through reports, trying to analyze data, looking at numbers and so on, it's inefficient and it's difficult. But if you can, you know, have the assistance, and I say assistance is the important word here, of the AI, then you can, you know, get to granularity of this data way faster, you know, quicker, instantly, across millions of data points. So if there's a pattern or a correlation or a trend, even if it's very early on, it's way easier for that to get picked up on by, you know, artificial intelligence in that instance.
So if I be an investor, which is the prompt I have to ask to the chat GPT?
That's the $1 million question.
Where is where I have to invest to open a new hotel? This should be the question. No, I'm joking. And for you, which would be the emerging destination? Go back to the humans. For you, you can say anything you want. Imagine to be sometimes
Saudi Arabia, or, you know.
Once she starts her, once you start, it's better. So David,
I'd probably say, you know, Saudi Arabia or one of the kind of newer regions which.
Yeah, for your opinion, which would be? Imagine to be AI, to be ChatGPT. I'm asking you, which would be the next emerging
The thing is, that's probably looking beyond that. I mean, Saudi Arabia's obviously come to the forefront now, and there's a lot of noise about the region. But, you know, AI is probably even discovering probably the next planet, or, you know, probably Mars, to be honest with you.
If you ask to Elon Musk, for sure that should be the answer. Patricia?
The moon.
The moon. Okay.
No, I'm joking. I think emerging destinations, I mean, given the recent patterns after COVID that people want to kind of be more in the nature and be less in the cities and be more kind of isolated, I think the new destination will be something related with nature, with something more authentic. Also looking at the younger generations today, they want something different. So I think the new destinations will be quite different to what we are used to see today. But I don't know which one will be the first one.
Okay, I hope to have some suggestion for my next holidays, but nothing from you. Okay.
Come to Spain, always good.
It's difficult to define that a new and emerging destination. Okay. Well, let's go on. Does AI make travel research more or less personalized?
Much more personalized, I would say. Now you have, I mean, you just need to know how to use AI to get that personalization, right? You need to spend quite some time asking and refining your questions in order to get the answers that you want. But I think it's a great tool to have a trip more personalized. Definitely, yes.
I totally agree. And that can be to your benefit because I guess you're seeing something that relates more to you. Like I mentioned the golf analogy earlier. If you like golf, you'd probably want golf trips to pop up, not spa days, whatever it may be. So there's an element of that which is positive, but then it's also a little bit scary when you get like an advert on Instagram where it's something you discussed with someone a couple of days ago and it pops up on the screen. So I think the right balance is probably what's important there.
Fifth time. Okay, so you agree, you totally agree, but on Netflix, Spotify, they choose, are you sure that are more personalized or more common? I mean,
well, I think I saw something
because it should be
open.
Yeah, no, I think it's something of similar at the end. That they choose at the end. You follow the same choosing of the other guests on the algorithm. You see in Spotify and Netflix very often happen that at the end the choices are more targeted. So
just to add to that,
just to say that I don't agree with you.
But just one thing on that, you know, with
for my opinion, less.
But with Netflix, there's like 14,000 shows that they've got in their database, but you probably only have a couple of hundred that you see because it tries to direct them more specifically. But I guess on a hotel, then you could have some challenges of unfair on who's not coming to the front because it's hiding all those that might have a great offering but maybe just don't have similar searches to what you previously searched, I guess.
Yeah. But look like the campaign look like so. At the end, maybe in this day I would go in another destination because.
I have something to add to that. Talking about Spotify, right? I think one thing that we take for granted is that the AI knows everything and has the right data. But if the data that AI is using is not super clean, the suggestions and the personalization won't be good. As an example, I have a 15-year-old son, and he likes trap and rap and all this music, right? And when we go together in the car, he uses his Spotify, my phone, to put his music. So guess what recommendations I'm getting in my Spotify, trap and rap and things. AI should know that I'm not that person, right? So this is why I'm saying we need to be careful as well. It's not everything about personalization. If the data is not clean and AI cannot distinguish, then nothing is going to be personalized or even accurate.
This is a problem why I always hear in Spotify children music, because I have a child of 8 years old that monopolize. Okay, two bad questions. So these are very bad questions and a very quick answer. I ask from you. Is artificial intelligence male or female?
Female.
Male.
Alexa and
Alexa, Elisa, Connie the concierge. What was the name of her the film? Samantha, right?
Samantha.
It's a female.
Yeah. The her. You remember the
Samantha was the name. So
I didn't remember.
See?
Is revenue management male or female? No, David, start you. don't look at Patricia.
Wow, okay, whatever you want it to be, I guess.
Too polite. You are too polite.
It's an it. It.
It. Oh, okay.
Not she, not he. It's an it.
Okay. Yeah. Someone told me that, but it was like 10 years old, 10 years ago. Revenue management is muscular, is like muscular. Yeah.
And what's your answer to that then, Emmanuel?
It's not mine. So no, it's not my opinion. I'm just here to make questions. Can I really accurate predict room demand? Okay. This is too easy question. Let's forward. In your opinion, should hoteliers rely on AI for pricing? No, this is, I didn't have it. Should hoteliers rely on AI for pricing, or is it better to do it all manually?
The question is the same as, do you want to do mathematical formulas with a pen and a paper, or do you want to use calculator, or do you want to use Excel? I mean, clearly, yeah.
If you have Einstein as a revenue manager, maybe you can have and David, too easy this question. Answer, but
yeah, no, absolutely. In my view, in maybe, I don't know, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, whatever it may be, I don't really think people are going to be manually pricing rooms themselves. I don't know how long it's going to take for full adoption of, automated pricing in some way, or at least pricing recommendations, and a user can accept it. But I think automated pricing will become like a channel manager was, kind of 10 years ago. It will become the norm to have an element of automated pricing.
I remember when I changed price in 20 different channels manually. And this is a link for the next question. Good to the next question. How much time do you think AI saves compared to the traditional revenue management?
You know what? I got this question. I was yesterday in a panel, and someone from the public asked this question: how much time can I save by using AI? And I said, I'm going to the very basic rule of Pareto, 80-20. So 80% of the time that you dedicate today can be saved by using AI. For me, that's clear.
Pareto law. David, you say
you
always
can't disagree with that.
You always agree with Patricia.
I think also it's not just about pricing. There's way more from the revenue management side of things than there is on just the pricing side. There's the reporting and capturing various data and stuff. So it's a much bigger picture than just looking at the pricing for AI, right? It's a whole kind of commercial offering that you can receive. So the time's endless, really.
If you think all the tasks that the revenue manager needs to do without the system, it's crazy. It's really 80% of the time is gathering data, putting some order in the data from different sources, having a super macro Excel sheet he's the only one or she's the only one who understands it, trying to do forecasting based on pickup for several days in advance, let alone talk about a one-year forecast, then check the competitors' prices, check the reputation scores, take a pricing decision for every room type for every single day in the future. It is crazy. So even 80% is short.
But anyone that can do it is doing it inefficiently, right? Because you say there's so much more granularity that you can do than one room type for the next week, as an example.
I go directly to the question that I put in the bottom, because it's very linked to this. With artificial intelligence, revenue managers will continue to use Excel?
Hopefully not.
I'm afraid they will, yeah.
You know that there are tools of artificial intelligence to improve Excel as well? So artificial intelligence also helps the Excel users. I'm one of that.
I'm sure artificial intelligence can improve Excel, but you need to be mathematician to really tell Excel and artificial intelligence what you want to get out of it, right? So, and this is why RMSs exist today, because Excel is not enough. So, no, I don't think Excel should be there.
No, you're right. Absolutely. Don't look at me. I agree with you, like David. So, this is good for the next question. What is the main artificial intelligence function that your software has adopted?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think a really important one for us, and especially in a market like Italy, is we realized there was a huge segment of business that wasn't really getting managed or optimized by the hotel or by revenue management systems, which is the tour operator business. So, we realize if you're not kind of taking into account that huge segment of business that a lot of hotels are still relying on, that you're not really getting the full picture. So that's a segment that we can also, utilize and manage and recommend that sits within the platform that can allow you to optimize pricing for that. And it works on forecasting and stop sales restrictions and so on. So I think that for us, combining it in with the forecast is hugely beneficial because it's telling the full story. It's looking at the full segmentation, everything of the hotel to really maximize all those different revenue streams and segmentations.
I think in our case, when I was actually reading about artificial intelligence, what is it, right? And it englobes a lot of different concepts that we use as machine learning and deep analytics and mathematical algorithms. All of that is considered to be artificial intelligence. So I would say, in our case, from the very first point of gathering the data until the very last point of taking a decision, because the system is a decision system, it's not a recommendation system. All of those processes are backed up by artificial intelligence, meaning the data analytics, meaning all the forecasting, meaning the segmentation based on customer behavior, meaning the pricing decisions. All of that is backed up by artificial intelligence. So which one is more prevalent? I would say all of them are prevalent because it's all part of the process.
Well, I keep the last minutes for question. Qualche domanda da parte vostra? Io vedo molti revenue manager qua, quindi molti anche che conosco e che sono molto bravi, quindi mi appropinquo per una domanda. Se ti puoi anche presentare.
Hello everyone, my name is Eliana, I'm property manager from Sicily. So the question is, in the past years I always heard about the revenue management, and I was pretty excited because I think that me, like most of the people here, are interested in tools that can help us in doing daily mechanical works that can give us more value to our time. And so when I was back at my desk, I made some demo about some revenue management program. And the feeling was I was scared because too many numbers, statistics, and I had math and all kinds of things related to math and numbers in general. And I stopped searching because I thought that maybe the program can make me lose money, not putting the correct price. And the question is, it's important to have special skills to use this kind of program, or revenue management can be totally autonomous and work. And the most important question is, Florence is not Rome. Rome is not the small town close to the beach in Sicily. So AI and revenue management put into consideration even the location where the property are in setting the correct price, or is a general like just a general, how to say, price related just to numbers? That's the question. Hope it was clear.
Great question. And it's really interesting you say that, because, you know, FOMO, the fear of missing out, well, there was a study last month or a couple of months back that FOMO, fear of messing up, is now greater than the fear of missing out. So people are more worried about implementing the wrong technology that they actually stall, you know, the decision quite a lot of the time. The second part of the question was, if you can have does a system need the pilot, or does it run like a drone, I guess? We definitely recommend you need a pilot to run it, because it allows that pilot to be a lot more strategic in their operations. You know, there may be an instance where a really small hotel with, you know, just transient travelers that come by may have an element of pure pricing automation, and they may not need to go into much more detail on the program and get more strategic. But in reality, we feel that it definitely needs someone to drive that machine, which is something that we have a team of revenue managers that kind of hold the hand of the hotel as they come on board, because I think 64% of revenue managers use an RMS today. So two-thirds of revenue managers have an RMS, but we're seeing a huge rise in people that aren't revenue managers that are implementing an RMS. So that's where the training is super important. And if it's configured correctly and in the right way, then you shouldn't have to be a revenue manager to be able to benefit from using an RMS. And the final piece of your question was about looking at the specific market. Now, when you look at the data that goes into an RMS, we generally put it on 3 different levels. The PMS data, to understand the speed the hotel fills up and the pace and the pickup at the hotel. The second level of data is where we look at the competitors. So how are the competitors pricing and performing? And the thing I mentioned earlier about the hotel quality index is what's the perceived value of our hotel versus the competition. And the third layer of that is looking at the demand data for the city or the region. So there's 3 layers: hotel, competitors, market. And that's really valuable data that goes into the RMS there. Sorry, that was a long answer.
Patricia?
Time's up, so no. I think you are not alone. I think when I say you are not alone in feeling scary when seeing an RMS, it's true. Every single day we talk to hoteliers who say, oh, this is a little bit too much for me. I don't fully understand it. I know my market. I know my hotel. No one will know better than me. And I think it's a journey. It's a journey that you need to take step by step. Of course, no automated system will come in and in your property and be right the first day. You need to work together as a, what was the word? Collaboration? No.
Combination.
Combination, and it's a journey, and at some point in time you will be comfortable to let the system run automatically. In our case, our system is automated, so it's much more scary for hoteliers to say, oh, the machine knows more than, or at some point will the machine know more than I do? Yes, the answer is yes, but it doesn't need to be immediate, and it doesn't need to be tomorrow. So as I say, it's a journey. Take it easy. Don't get stressed, because you are not the only one feeling scared.
Well, I think we are over. I ask you claps to Patricia Diana and David McGloy, and I thank you to be attended here.
Thank you, Emanuele.
Thank you.